Hey everyone, it is noon on Wednesday. I am Kathy Crosby. I am a realtor in Cypress, Texas, and I serve clients in Cypress and all around Houston. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about interest rates. On any given day, I have got several folks mentioning to me that they don't want to buy a house because of the quote high interest rates. And I've been in the business for just over 10 years. And typically, our normal interest rates, you guys, is anywhere between 4 and 7%. So I am going to pull up this chart on the screen. And hopefully, you can see here that interest rates back in the 80s, I remember when my parents owned a home, interest rates were 18%. So we're sitting at 6%, doesn't seem quite that high. And then they crept down to about 8% in 1990 and 6% in 2000, finally lowering to about 4% in 2010. And then, of course, dipped to the 2 and 3% during COVID times. So just like COVID, that was a bit of an anomaly, and we likely will not see 2 and 3% again. So this 6%, 7% should not be scaring you so much. And I just want to talk to you about going ahead and taking the plunge and purchasing a home. There are some strategies to beating these interest rates. You can talk to a lender and buy down the interest rate. That means bring a little bit more money to the table. You'll have to put pencil to paper to make sure that it makes sense. But if you, for example, want to bring $5,000 extra to the table to buy down the rate, that might be saving you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars over the life of the loan. Now, these are just all numbers. I highly recommend that you talk to a lender about all of these things, but that is one strategy. You can also ask for seller concessions, which means you're asking the seller to give you money to come to the closing table, and they will buy down your rate essentially. Also, you can talk to the lender about a shorter term loan. You might be really surprised to know that if you go for a 10, 15, or 20-year loan in lieu of a 30-year loan, your interest rate is going to be smaller. And honestly, the payment is not that significantly different. So you have to sit down with your lender, talk about these interest rates, talk about the term loan, and see what makes sense. If you have a shorter term loan, you're paying off the house in a smaller amount of time. Many lenders right now are also offering free or reduced cost refinancing, which means that if you buy a house today, and right now the rate is at about almost 7%, if the rate dips to 4 or 5% within the next year, your lender may refi that loan at no cost or perhaps a reduced cost. So that is definitely something to talk to them about. And you can always refi later, 2, 3, 5 years down the road if those interest rates dip down. Just want you to remember, if you are renting a home, you might be scared of this interest rate and think, oh, I don't want to buy a home today. My mortgage is going to be too much. If you're paying over $2,000 in rent, you can likely get a mortgage for about the same or perhaps a little bit more. And right now, if you're renting, you're paying someone else's mortgage. You are building somebody else's retirement, somebody that you don't even know. So go ahead, talk to a realtor, talk to a lender, start building your own your own portfolio of real estate. Start building your own retirement. If you have a decent credit score, 620 or higher, and you've got some money to put down, and in some programs, it's as little as 3%. That whole 20% rule is days gone by. As little as 3%, you could possibly get a home in your own name. Thank you so much for joining. I am Kathy Crosby. I aim to educate, advocate, and navigate you and your real estate transaction.